What if I started singing Casper, the friendly ghost, the friendliest ghost
More like
we know?
talk about more like Larry the Lobster. I mean, look at me. God, like you can't. Well, you can't see because his lighting is so like. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're getting all the. Oh my God, look at
How
my
was your
cord.
hike?
It was good. It was really good. I think that's actually my relief of the week.
Welcome to Dysfunctionally Yours, the podcast where we embrace the chaos, laugh through the struggles, and find hope on the other side of trauma. I'm your host, Brittany, and if you've ever felt like your life was a beautifully messy roller coaster of dysfunction, trust me, you're in good company. Here, we'll have real, raw, and sometimes ridiculous conversations about mental health, relationships, and healing, because let's be honest, life isn't always pretty, but that doesn't mean we can't come out of it stronger and maybe even smiling. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of bubbles, and let's navigate this wild journey together, dysfunctionally, but never alone.
Well, we'll just jump right into it, I guess.
Ryan and I did 10 miles through a state park on Saturday, whatever
Yeah.
day that was.
Yeah.
It was super good. We hiked back to a waterfall and it was just super nice. It was super cool. Like I also got like Ryan took some photos of me like near the waterfall and I'm like, wow, I actually look like those are some of the first photos I've taken since like losing a lot of weight. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wow, like I actually like how I look. So that's nice.
That's good. That's good.
But we did, yeah, like I want to say 25,000 in steps and like definitely got a lot of incline. I was really sore on Sunday yesterday.
Today is Sunday.
I'm really
Yeah,
10
promise. It's Father's Day.
Saturday, whatever day. We must have went on Friday then. Whatever, I don't know. Time goes by so slowly. Madonna.
Madonna.
But no, it was super good.
Great song.
Anything Madonna puts out is going to be great, to be honest.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
No, so we went and yeah, it was like a 4-hour thing. We went like kind of early-ish in the morning. We got there around 8 and then we didn't get home until like a little after 3, but it was super good. Like I felt good. I'm like, wow, like I can do like this 10-mile hike now. I wasn't like dying at the end, but I was definitely feeling it. I was like, oof, 10 miles. I'm tired. I soaked in a nice cool bubble bath because I got a little burned. You can't tell because these lights make me look like I'm literally dead. So yeah, there's that. So that was my relief of the week. I got a nice hike in.
What's your ache? The reflecting pond outside of Indy's.
I saw something this morning that the White House is saying it's something related to like how the design was like something like I don't even know, but like
because it's brand new. Because this pond, this reflecting pool is brand new. It just got installed. Like what? Why are we? I heard
and it's green. It's literally the ducks won't even get in it.
The ducks won't even get in it. And I was like, I saw something else where he was blaming Obama for it, and I'm like, what?
Like what are we doing?
What are we doing? Can we
like if you make a mistake, just acknowledge it and move on and try to fix it and stop stop putting it on everyone else.
We had a great plan, and also because
we had concepts of a plan.
Right. Like, yes, okay, like it's fine. Like I cannot.
No, I know. My ache of the week. You know, I've been struggling a bit since, and this sounds a little silly, but I've been struggling a bit since I think something changed in May when I turned 29. And I've been having a lot of self-reflection and looking at different aspects of my life. And, I came to a realization, or maybe not even a realization, but I've been kind of analyzing the relationships in my life and the energy that I give and the space that they all hold. And I have recognized that people that I thought, were my friends or that I was or who I was close to, I actually don't think that is the case. And I feel right now probably one of the loneliest that I have ever felt in my adult life. I've stopped texting some people, and I wanted to see like how long it would take for them to text me, and it's been 2 weeks for some of them, and I don't know, that's just kind of sad. I just feel really lonely. So that's my ache of the week.
Yes, that is a difficult realization, I say, as you're much older.
You're not a day over 26.
Right, but if I were, I would be able to say that that is challenging and not always permanent, like we grow and we learn, and sometimes we kind of like fork in the road and merge and come back around, more like a roundabout as opposed to like a whole fork. Sometimes we don't, and you're always going to take the path that makes more sense and the most sense for you, for your family and you personally. And that doesn't make it easy, but I'm sorry that this is the space that you're in and the lesson that you're having to navigate, because it is a difficult chapter. But I love you bunches and I'm glad that you're here.
I love you too. I appreciate that. It's just been like, it's hard when and I acknowledge that like I've made a lot of changes in my life
Yeah.
to better myself,
Yeah.
and whether that's like my exercise or not always having a drink when we go and hang out with friends or things like that. And I think I've just recognized that, yeah, like the trajectory of my life and what I want for myself is turning out to be I think a little different than some of the people that I have chosen to surround myself with over the last, I don't know, all of my 20s
Yeah.
basically. And I don't know what to do with that other than and like I'm trying really hard not to, because like I'm not this the point of this sharing this isn't to like, make anyone feel bad or to bash anyone.
Yeah.
But I've also just noticed like some subtle things too. Like if I get really excited about something and I want to show, one of my friends something, like they won't even like, if I want to show them like, oh, look at this cool YouTube video that I found like that I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And then I show them and then I'm like, here, let's watch it. And then they don't even look up from their phone. And I just noticed that a little bit. And
You communicate so much through what you see. Like, you share so much of, like, what you see and what you intake, like, that's so much a form of, like, how you communicate with others. So I can really, because I am on the receiving end of much Chris communication, I can really understand, like, how difficult that would be, because that is how you communicate. And, you know, I know that's why, even as, like, I've been going through my own mess right now, and you were like, "But I'm still gonna send you things," and I'm like, "But no, please do, even if I don't respond," because, like, I know that that's how you're communicating. I know that you're sharing the things that excite you. I know that you're sharing the things that worry you or concern you. That's how you're communicating with your friends. And so I hear you. And that would be hard.
So we're just, I mean, I'm just going to work through it. We're going to figure it out. It's just, initially, like some of these things they're really hard. And I mean, it kind of, it's one of those like, it is what it is. And like, I need to just figure out like I get to choose what to do with this information, right? And I get to choose for myself, like, how do I move forward? And, kind of like we've talked about, like protecting ourselves and protecting
Mhm.
our peace. Like I need to make like, I don't think I need to do anything immediate, because right now I'm just kind of like taking in all of this
Yeah.
information, and I'm just kind of observing, and I'm like kind of sitting on it purposely, because I don't want to confront anyone. I don't want to say like, you've been like this terrible friend, like, because we all have different ways of communicating and
Totally.
expressing like our wants, our needs. And I also think it's okay to have different interests and different things like that. And so it it's a balance, right? And I
Yeah.
think like part of my thing is like I'm so focused on like me right now and what I'm doing that I need to recognize that not everyone around me is in the same space that I'm in as well. So it's a balance. It just kind of sucks sometimes because
Yeah.
it's like I just yeah, like it just sucks, but
Yeah.
we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. My ache and relief of the week. What is my ache? Life is my ache. What is my ache?
Valid.
I
So valid.
I will say that my ache of the week really is I had this training for work and I love training. Like a good training, I am such a training nerd. And, I have so many hours of training that I have to get a year to stay certified and to do all of these things for work. And I always go so far above and beyond, and not because I'm an overachiever, which some might say that I am, and I might not disagree, but because I love training. I would be a never-ending student if education was free in America. Like I would be in college till the day I died and be
You
that
love learning. You
I
want you wanna
yes,
grow. You wanna, like,
absolutely.
soak everything up.
Absolutely. And so I was really excited for this particular training, and I had actually been like waiting for it for well over a year and was pumped. And it was the worst training
No.
experience of my entire life. It was just actually awful. And that made me really like that was disheartening and that was very sad. And I won't go into all of the ins and outs of that, but like that was just such a bummer whenever like you're looking forward to something for so long and no, absolute failure. Like absolute so sad.
Well, and that's also, like that's time that you've carved out for it. That's, like, mental
16
energy.
hours.
Yeah, that's mental energy that you're giving to that. Like,
Yeah.
you want to have a good training. Time
Yeah.
is valuable, especially
Yes.
in, the field that
Yes.
we work in, and it's like, yeah, like, there's not a lot of things that can be worse than, like, feeling like I just wasted 16 hours of my
Wasted.
life in
Wasted.
this training where I feel like I just got, like, roasted or whatever,
Yeah.
like, whatever
It was
it's meant to
awful.
be.
It was awful.
Oof.
So that is my ache. My relief, I feel like I have a lot of reliefs of the week. And so I think I'm just going to give like a little like list because I'm in this space where, I've really been struggling. I've really been having a hard time. And so I'm really trying to be very, very, very mindful of like the small things that are helping so that it's just not like all doom and gloom all the time, right?
Mhm.
And so
I think that's a good perspective to have, honestly, is, like, tapping into all of the
mhm,
the different positive,
yeah,
like, what's going
yeah.
well, and
So I will say I briefly mentioned, I don't know, at some point along the way that I was gonna do like this 200 miles of summer challenge. I've reframed that to be like this 200 opportunities to interrupt my depression.
alright, we love reframing.
Yeah, just because like I don't want it to turn into this like I have to do this challenge. I have to be successful. I have to do this. Like I don't want it to turn into that when I'm struggling so hard that if I miss a day or something like that that I spiral out to be like, well, now I'm giving up or whatever. And so it's really just like reframing it to be like, okay, that was, 2 more miles that I interrupted that moment of depression. That was 4 more miles that I did that. And so in doing that, like, I think that that's been kind of like a nice little twist, and it also is, like, giving me credit for doing something to tackle this monster that I'm tackling right now, like, piece by piece, like, just chipping away at it.
Piece by
There it
piece,
is.
all I remember is your
And
back.
so being able to, like, tap in and be like, "Oh, that was 2 more miles that I did that for myself." So, a little bit of reframe there. I am fortunate enough to live in a location where I have a really nice, like, lake that is a solid 2 miles start to finish, so
Well, that's super convenient.
super convenient.
And it's probably, like, at least cooler by the water.
It's lovely. It's just a lovely space that I have, and so that I'm very grateful that I live in a location where that is easy, and it's lovely, and it's nice. And over the past couple of years, I've really realized, like, I fuck with birds. Like, birds are very cool for some strange reason. Like, I don't think we give birds enough credit for how cool they are. But the morning, if you go out in the morning, the lake is very quiet, but there's so many birds on it, different kinds of birds, right? And the
Mhm.
ducks just had ducklings, and I love little baby ducks.
Aw, I love ducks.
I
They're so
love
cute.
yeah, they're so cute, and the geese just had their goslings, and so there's a bunch of baby ducks, there's a bunch of baby goslings. There's these cool storks that hang out, like, in the water, and you get to see them, they're very cool. There's this cute little one with very long legs and a tiny little body that runs along the shoreline, and I'm like I took a picture of it so that I could look it up because 'cause I'm like, "What is that little thing? He's very cool." There's a hawk, so there's just, like, a lot of birds, and I'm like, "Oh, look at all the cool birds." So
I'm pretty sure isn't there a hobby for that? Like not
bird watching. It
bird
is. Yeah,
watching?
yeah.
Yeah, you should, like, get a book of, like, birds and, like, put a stamp next to every bird that you find or
I
something.
I I might actually. And I have a girlfriend who has an app on her phone that you can record the bird sound and it'll tell you what bird it is.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe maybe I need that too. Like I'm just really fucking with birds lately. So I appreciate all the birds by my house. So I think those have been really nice things. And I did go to the doctor and
Yay!
I know. And the doctor did give me some medication and the
And now you're
relief
back and better than ever.
well, now we start a new journey. And so, the relief that came from that, because I was worried I was gonna be have to book another appointment and
Well, we
continue
have to do a
schedule on
referral
it.
to this
Yes. Mhm.
department, and then you have to do this questionnaire, and actually you have to do an evaluation first, and
Yeah.
then blah, 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 blah.
So I was worried about that, but got that taken care of and, we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. So I think as far as like just being able to continue to like take next steps forward and really understand that like yes, I'm in a challenging space right now, but there's a lot of positive around me and then I know the last time I battled a really, really rough bout of depression, I didn't have the support system that I have now. And it just wasn't a healthy support system. It wasn't a helpful support system. It just was not what it needed to be. And I'm very fortunate right now that I have the support system that I have. Like, I have a very substantial safety net between my friends, between my dad and my stepmom are really showing up. And then, obviously I have my therapist and I just have so many different layers that
Yep.
I haven't always had that. And I really do right now. And I'm really, really grateful for what I have right now. And I know, I guess for anybody listening, like if they're like, oh, you're so lucky you don't have like you have all that. I don't. I can relate to that. Like that's why I'm like really giving attention to the fact that I have created around myself a very, very beautiful support network, and I'm very grateful for it because
And sometimes you have to be willing to make that support network for yourself. Like if you don't cultivate like relationships and, like how can I think it can be like obviously, I'm not shaming anyone that doesn't have the support, but part of, making relationships, whether that's friendships, a significant other, family, like whatever that looks like, that
Mhm,
includes like you have to there's give and take even on days where it's like, man, yeah, I don't feel like getting out of bed and doing the thing, but it's like go to brunch, just even if it's just
mhm,
for an hour, do a 5 to 10 minute FaceTime call, like
mhm.
respond to the text message, like just, you gotta build your own support
Yeah,
network and you have to do it in a way that is going to be safe for you and, allows you to have that connection because I think sometimes we tend to withdraw and we tend to shy away.
Mhm.
And I think it's important to recognize, like, in those times where we're like wanting to take a step back, that it's maybe like, actually, maybe, no, this is exactly what I need right now.
Absolutely. And it's also required me being incredibly vulnerable with people and letting people know what was going on because,
Ew, gross vulnerability.
yeah, I mean, I
We
really
have feelings?
right.
What?
I really
Ugh.
would have liked to have not said anything to anybody and just been like, "I can get through this, I can get through this," and I can, but it's so much easier with a little bit of help, so I'm really in a space right now where I'm really grateful. I actually am reading this I'm reading this book. What is it called? It's called 101 Essays. Oh, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Weist. It's very cool. It's like if you just take it in, like I've actually listened to it while I'm on my while I'm out walking or whatever. And you just like take in some things and you hear some things and it resonates and makes you think a little bit. And then I wrote down something that I had heard, and then you actually touched on it a minute ago whenever you were talking.
Look at me. I have
I
so much foresight. That's why
well,
I'm the supreme.
sure. Yeah, absolutely, totally, naturally. But she had asked or written whatever, and it said, "If you had to live today on repeat for the rest of your life, what would you think of that?" And I think and, like, would it be okay, and would it be enough? Like, essentially, like, are you living your life today to the fullest? And I think whenever I originally heard it, I was like, "I hope the fuck not." I I hope the fuck not that I have to live this day on repeat for the rest of my life because I'm in kind of a stormy season, and I don't wanna live in a storm forever,
Right.
but I even still was like, "Okay, but I am out with my dog. I am out on a walk. I actually did have therapy that day," right? So there's, like, a lot of positive pieces to that
Yeah,
day.
for sure.
I went to the cemetery to see my brother on that particular day that I heard that, and so I was like, "There's plenty of, like, positive pieces in this day." I don't wanna redo it over and over and over again, but it's not the worst day. But I think it's even framing that because we sit here and we think that we have so much time, and I know this touches a little bit on your own mortality stuff that you
Ugh.
fight with.
Literally, I'm gonna be dead next week.
I cannot. Just deceased. Like, but we do think that, like, "Oh, we'll do that tomorrow, we'll do that next year, we have all of this time,"
We
and
we can
we don't
push
know.
the trip off. We don't need to
Yeah,
go this year. Like, we're still saving money even though it's the same thing every year. Saving money,
saving
doing
money,
this,
yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
Like, always it's almost like we make excuses to what we really want to do. And, like, I'm not saying, like, go out and open 20 credit cards and, buy, like, a mansion and then, like, go into foreclosure and all of that. But, like, I think logically
yikes.
but I think logically, right, like, being brave enough to do things that are uncomfortable
Mhm, mhm,
because you just yeah, I mean, quite frankly, like, I was kinda thinking about this the other day, like, we have more risk, like, getting in the car, right? So, like, anytime that we're driving to work, like, we never know if, like, today's the day, like, it could just
yeah,
be a crazy accident
yeah,
and then it's done, and it's like, well, did you do everything that you wanted to do? Would you be
right,
fulfilled? Would you be happy with that? And I
yeah.
think I think the answer for a lot of us is probably not.
Probably not, because we just keep on waiting, waiting, waiting for the best time, and it's like, is that best time ever gonna come? So, it was, kind of a nice little, like, thing to think about, to be like, how could I be living my life more to the fullest? And that is certainly not to say that every day, like you said, we don't need to go open a bunch of credit cards. Every day is not a celebration. Every day does not, I mean, every day is kind of a celebration. Like, you're welcome. I woke up. But every day doesn't have to be like this big, grandiose thing, right? Like, there is something very special about the peace in normalcy, right? And being able to like wake up and be surrounded by people that you love, and knowing that you can make a phone call to talk to a friend and say, hey, or knowing that you can go have a nice meal with a friend, or you can enjoy a walk or a run. Like, those things are possible. You can do all
Or
of
even
those
if you
things.
just want to wake up and like rot on the couch and watch your
Yes.
favorite show on
Yes.
Netflix and like
There's
eat
something,
whatever you want and
yes.
just like
There's something peaceful about that, but it's also like, we do need to be, we can be mindful of like, of that, instead of, and we can change how we frame that. It's not like, oh, I was so bored, all I did was watch TV. And I know we've talked about it a lot. Like, you don't always have to be busy. You don't always have to be doing something there. Like,
you
it's
can just
okay
be. It's
to
okay
just
to just
be.
be in the world.
Yeah. So like, I think that there is some of those things that like go into that question, but it also leaves room for, okay, well, I did this thing that I didn't enjoy. And if I was continuing to do that over and over and over again, that would suck. So is there something I need to change about what I'm doing right now? If you're not enjoying it, if you didn't enjoy it today, are you going to enjoy it every day for the rest of your life? Probably not. You're not going to suddenly enjoy it.
I've actually done that with vacations.
Really?
So many of my friends love to go to Florida. They're like,
Ew.
let's go to Florida. I know. They're
I
like,
hate
let's
Florida.
literally you step off the plane and you're wet because it's humid. But that aside, like I'm very sensitive to the sun. What
Yeah.
happens in Florida? It doesn't matter if I put on sunscreen or not. I
Yeah.
get burned. I've gotten blisters on my ears from being
No,
in Florida. And
that
it's
sounds awful.
my skin turned purple. I had to go to the doctor. It was
Oh my
insane.
god,
Yeah, it
that's
was.
terrible.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm probably gonna get skin cancer, but we'll
But
cross that bridge
we're
when
not,
we get there.
we're not
Um,
putting that out there.
um, but yeah, so like even right now, like I have some friends that like went to Florida for a vacation, and I'm just like, I finally have gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm not going.
Yeah,
Like, and it's not because I don't want to see you. It's not because I don't want to hang out, but invite
it's
me
because Florida is
somewhere.
awful. It's a
Yeah,
terrible place.
like invite me somewhere. See, and this is why like I'm excited for Scotland because it's gonna be cloudy, it's gonna be
Mhm.
rainy, it's gonna be during fall, like it's gonna be
Yeah,
perfect. Ireland and London, also perfect. It was
yeah.
cloudy and rainy. Like I'm not a tropical, like I do want to go to Hawaii. I do think Hawaii would be fun.
Hawaii is lovely. 10 out of 10
Yes.
recommend.
Like I
Please let my stepmom book your trip because she's the Hawaii goddess.
Okay. Okay. When we do want to do a Hawaii
Yeah,
trip, and I think like something like that, I
yeah,
think I can do. But like I got invited to go to Bali this month, and
yeah,
actually right now, like some of my family are out in Bali right now, and I one because we wanted to do Scotland, like in cost and time and all of that. It's like I can't do everything in the same year. But then two, I'm just like it's hot. It is humid.
yeah,
It is not like I don't think that I would have a good time. And I am tired of trying to put on a happy face and pretend like, actually, yes, this is going to be, yeah, let's go to Bali. It's going to be great. I'm literally going to like, I would probably like decombust from the flames of the sun the
yeah.
second I got there. And like, I'm not about that anymore. Like, I am all for like, I will do anything. And like if that limits like travel time and like the destinations I go, because I know like a lot of places are hot and but that's just not my vibe. And I've just kind of made peace with that,
Yeah.
right? So like I'm tired of, like if when we ever go to brunch again, we will probably never sit
We will
outside.
never sit outside. I will never ask you to sit outside for brunch ever, ever again. Ever, ever again. Like, I think about it all the time and I laugh, but I'm like, never, ever again. Like, poor Chris. And that's why I started smiling while you were telling that story, because I was like, yes, he would go to Bali and sell everybody that he's fine being there and then be
Yep.
absolutely miserable being there, and people would
Just sobbing in the bathroom trying to put cold water on my face. Like,
right.
no.
Yeah, so I hear you with that one. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, where were we going with that?
I have no idea where we were going with that, to be totally honest, but I I have no idea. I guess we're just gonna pivot. I actually where I sent you what I wanted to talk about.
Love.
Love. It was about love. It was about because okay, so I guess while I scroll around looking for what I'm trying to find. Oh, there it is. It was like I'm gonna get a little mushy for a second. I realized, and this has come from a lot of therapy and a lot of self-actualization and a lot of just being open to the world telling me things. I have realized I have never in my entire life had somebody try so hard to love me as my stepmother is doing right now. And not to make this all about her or anything, but it was like, it really had me sort of choked up the other day because she was asking questions that she didn't know the answers to about medication and kind of the depression thing and how it works. And she was like asking questions, and I'm having to teach her, and she's wanting to know what's going on, how she could
Mhm.
help. She's trying so hard, and I was like, I've never, ever in my whole life had somebody try so hard to love me, and it made me all, like, a little warm and fuzzy inside, but also a little like, "What's happening?
Mhm. Like, what is this? Like,
What is
why?
this?" Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, my first reaction is to be like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to do you need something from me? Like, or are you actually just care about me that much that you're willing to try to understand? Like,
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, I think it's like whenever you're raised in an environment where you have to earn love, or love is transactional, or love is not just freely given, or it comes with strings attached, or anything like that, it's really hard to just know what like this genuine love looks like.
100%. My my brain immediately when you say that, my brain immediately goes to, like, I kind of revert back to childhood for just a
Yes.
minute because my parents showed oh, wow, yeah. They showed their love by giving me stuff, and I think that's
Right.
partially why I have had this idea that I need to have the latest phone, I need to have the nicest car, I need to have this and that because my parents weren't really big on like, "We love you, we're proud of you." It was, "Here's a credit card, go school clothes shopping."
Uh-huh.
They actually got me my first car and like they paid the insurance, they paid the gas. Like I always had everything kind of paid for me, but I never had a super like I don't want to say I didn't have an emotional connection with them, but my dad worked a lot. He would basically I was raised by my mom for
Yeah.
like I would say 85% of the time, and the relationship between my mom and I was very I don't even know a word to describe it. She just wasn't the most happy feely, like, "You're doing a great job, super proud of you," and, like, here I was, like, honor society, like, I never got into trouble, I got good grades, but yeah, it felt like and partially I feel like it was like that. I think my dad in
Mhm.
particularly felt guilty that he worked so much and he was able to provide for us and gave me a great life, but I think he had some level of guilt of I'm not as close with my son
Mhm.
that I should be. I'm working all the time. I'm leaving him with his mom who
Yeah.
he knew wasn't
Yeah.
the best person in the world.
Yeah. I
But
think my dad could resonate with that one too.
yeah, so, like, showering me with if li like, "Hey, can I have $20 for the movie? I wanna get this new game.
Yeah.
I want a four-wheeler." Like, my dad almost never said no to anything that I wanted, and
Sure.
again, like as a 29-year-old adult now, I'm like, you know, as cool as all this stuff was, like it was just stuff. Like I don't have that
Yeah.
four-wheeler anymore. I don't have those gaming systems anymore. Those things that meant seemingly so much to me,
Yeah.
like in that period of time in my life, mean absolutely nothing to me now. And what do I have to show for it? I
Yeah.
have like me trying to navigate like being open to other people's feelings when they express it differently, or like, it's just like even hugging for me is sometimes like I yeah, it's like
I hate
what.
being touched.
Yeah, because like that's not something that was ever shown to me
Right.
growing up. And so like, yeah,
Right.
so that was just, yeah, my brain immediately went back to
Mhm.
like 6-year-old Chris, like just playing with his electronics and
Yeah.
not getting a hug.
Right,
Aw.
right. Putting yourself to bed, not getting a hug. Yeah, no,
Good night. Good night, Chris.
I definitely like, I think that that's a lot of what it is, and I can even think back into, like, other, like, romantic relationships that I've had and things like that, where it's like, maybe they did, right? Maybe they did really love me, but I also was like, I don't know how to be loved like a normal person because I was raised not knowing what that warmth feels like, and so it was almost like if it wasn't above and beyond and so extra, I was like, "You don't love me," which is its own sort of toxic disaster. Like, I know.
Like, you didn't make a reservation
Yeah,
for dinner at the Eiffel Tower for
right.
literally tomorrow? How dare you?
How dare you? And then I've also had, enough people be like, "Oh, you're too much, you're too messy," and, like, try to, like, fix it, and it's like, that's not how you love me either. You don't love me by fixing me. That's not love because you should accept me for who I am, and also, like, so I think I've seen so many different variations as I've grown and as I've had to heal and navigate the world that I'm in this place right now where, like I said, I'm very supported. I'm very, all things considered, healthy.
Woo!
Like I'm in a good place. I'm in a place that like a younger version of me would really be proud of, right? Like
Aw.
20-year-old Brittany would be like, "Oh, she's a bad bitch." Like she's good for her because like it was not that way. But now I'm also able to see this like space of like, this is how somebody is trying so hard to love me and somebody who hasn't always been in my world, right? Like, she's my stepmom. She didn't raise me. She hasn't always been around. And her and I have had a interesting dynamic. It hasn't always been smooth sailing. It hasn't always been easy. And it's come with some really low lows, and I think it's come with some really high highs as well, but it's hard for me to give myself to, like, a a motherly type figure because I've only ever been let down by that, and so I have been, and I am very guarded to her, but I'm, like, sitting here while I'm at the lowest she's ever seen me, and she is, like, day after day after day, like,
How
showing
are
up.
you? What can I do? Like, can you help me understand this? Like,
Yeah,
and honestly, that's one of the best things I think a person
yeah.
can do is
Like,
like,
I sat
just
there
try to
and
understand.
yes, and I sat there and I was like, it's like a warm little hug, like, to really realize, like, I don't have to fight so hard to be loved, like, I'm worthy of that, I deserve that, I don't have to earn love, like and I feel like that's always been where I've come from, like, I have to earn this love from somebody, earn acceptance from somebody, and that's not
Transactional. Yeah.
right, and that's not where this is right now, and I it's a very new feeling for me, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of nice," but also, like, that poor woman. She's trying so
The
hard.
roller coaster. I know
Yeah.
it's interesting to think about like the opposite. Like we know how we feel and the struggles it is with being loved and accepting love, but
Yes.
imagine being the person trying to break
Trying.
down like
Yes.
the exhaustion that that must at some point come with that, because it's like, well, damn, no matter what I do, it's like I can't I it's like I'm always on on the tip. I'm on the precipice, right? And it's like I'm so close to like breaking down that wall with Brittany, or I'm close to breaking down that wall with Chris, but there's still like there's fucking barbed wire at the top of the fence, and I just can't get through that quite yet. And
well, I think it goes both ways where it's like, I'm kind of like, when's the other shoe going to drop? But I think the other side of that could equally feel the same way for that reason. Like, when is it going to be too much and they recoil altogether? Or when is it like, when is, like, so I think that is probably very difficult on both sides. And I know there's been moments where she'll reach out and I don't say anything. And then like it'll be the next day. I mean, you get that from me too. It's always hit or miss if I'm gonna respond.
I just keep sending things regardless. I'm like, all right, here's the next thing.
Right. And so, it'll be like the next day or something. And I'm like, thank you for reaching out. Like, and I had to tell her the other day, I was like, please don't take it personal. Like, you are not the only one that I don't respond to. And I do appreciate it. Like, I do see it and I do appreciate it. And I get back to it as soon as I can muster the ability to like engage with humans. And, she was like, thank you for letting me know that this wasn't landing on deaf ears, And so I think being able to, even while you're being selfish and trying to take care of yourself, like you were saying, do answer the phone to somebody else, do go to that brunch, like do keep trying to fuel a relationship because both sides are needing something out of that. Like we need something out of each other to grow
100%.
and to heal and to maneuver. And so it's interesting.
I'm curious, do you think, because I've heard this before, and so curious what you think about this. Do you think that in order to be truly like 100% like to accept love, do you feel like you have to first love and accept yourself before you can accept it from other people?
Again, 20-year-old, 23-year-old Brittany would have been like, absolutely, like you have to love yourself. Otherwise, you don't know how to love somebody else. As I have healed and grown, as I have raised 2 children that are also adults that have also had their own struggles, I don't believe that anymore. I think sometimes the only thing we know how to do is to love something else, whether that's a dog or a human or a cat or a plant, whatever makes your soul, feel alive. And it is in learning how to love something else and somebody else also teaching you how to love them, right? Because that's all we do all day, every day. We are teaching everybody else around us how to love us and care for us and nurture us. And at some point, when we feel safe enough in a relationship, whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be sibling, it could be whatever it is. But whenever we feel comfortable enough in that relationship that we are giving this love to, I think you start to learn and you can start to love yourself a little bit more. Because I know I didn't love myself. I was trying to take my own life and I had 2 little kids and people were like, that's so selfish. 2 little kids. And I'm like, they're better off without me. They're better off without me because like I didn't love myself at all. And so why would I think that they wouldn't be better, like that they would be okay? Because I had that in my brain that I have to love myself. Otherwise, I cannot show up for somebody else. And I had to flip that 100 and be like, but I do love my children. I love my children more than anything else in this entire world. And I had to just flip that and give everything that I had to give into these 2 little boys whom I loved and that loved me very much. And in doing that, I was able to little by little love myself and appreciate myself. And, it probably wasn't until I was 37 years old that I was like, oh my God, I am actually incredible. And like every year that goes by, like you can't tell me nothing. The older I get, I'm like, oh my God, I am the greatest human on the planet. It's so fine. I wake up and I look at myself and I'm like, I am so great. I might not always like what I see, but I know who I am as a woman, and I'm like, "Oh, this is people should aspire to be me because I am awesome."
No, I think there's a lot of truth in what you're saying though too, especially about loving something like you were saying, whether that's a dog or yeah, a plant, like because, I think to some respect, right, there is a level of like that dog needs you, that plant
Mhm.
needs you.
Yeah.
And in order to thrive, right, and to live a happy, healthy life. And like you build that attachment, you nurture that attachment,
Mhm.
you grow that attachment. And I think that reframing that you also did of like, like taking, like, I think both can be true, right? Like, I think you can be in a place of like, well, yeah, like I don't love myself right now. My kids would be better off or whatever. But then flipping the script, like you said, and changing that to be, but I love my children and
Yeah.
I know that my children love me. Like, I think, that helps us reframe like this vision or this version of what we like consider love to be and like how we accept it, how we give it. Yeah, I wish, I wish that like younger Chris, like, even though it's hard to get much younger than this, would have been mindful of that because sometimes I think we seek love from all the wrong places
Yeah.
and the wrong people because as we've been talking about this, I've actually been thinking about my relationship with my biological mother. Because and for those out there listening, I grew up with my adoptive mother, and that's who I normally refer to. My biological mother has contact with me, and it's hard because we just I met her for the first time when I was 18 years old. Like, I
Mhm.
didn't even knew she existed until I was 16. And so like by the time all of that happened, right? Like I didn't necessarily need that motherly figure. And so like all these years, like she has made so many efforts to understand me, to get to know me. Like she like I don't even think she knows my favorite color because I'm like, why do you need to know my favorite color? Like I've been so like guarded, but she tries every
Yeah.
day. Like, and she'll like if I don't respond to her, she'll be like, "Are you okay? What's going on? I haven't heard from you. Like, I
Mhm.
love you so much." And like to be quite honest, I don't think I've ever said that I have loved her to her. And I
Mhm.
think that's a very complicated like thing for me because I anyway, where I'm going with that is I think, here I am like being sad over things and people that I thought like I had connections with but I'm ignoring the people that are actually wanting to know me and connect with me. And that's made me pause and go, huh, maybe that means that I need to do something different potentially.
Right,
Not
we
not
all
saying
have a role in that, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah, and it is, it's hard. So, yeah.
Ugh,
I know.
gross.
Very, very heavy stuff. Did you watch that documentary I asked you to watch?
Which one I
That
want?
maternal instinct documentary?
That man, I first of all, I think I texted you and I was like,
Mhm.
he has and I'm not trying to make fun of people's intelligence, but my God, bro has the brain the size of a small pebble. A like you going to tell me he was I'm just so shocked. I can't believe that she cut that baby out of that woman
Cut a baby out of friend.
and he was like, "Well, I'm sorry, everyone. You all tried to tell me, Mom. You tried to tell me, my best friend that I stopped talking to. You tried to tell me." And it's like, where I can't. Like, I can't. But actually, what's
He was
ironic?
trying to get a $20 million ranch out of her. So, like, on the one hand, does he have a pebble brain? Or was he like, all right, I don't care about her. I don't care what's happening over there, but I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to get this
Yeah,
ranch and I'll look the other way. Because he even said, she's in the bathroom all the time. I don't really have a lot of interaction with her. The friends were like, yeah, he just goes and does whatever. He doesn't sit still. He goes out, he works on the farm. He's always busy. So
And
he
ironically, like,
didn't have somebody nagging him. He didn't have all of this
yeah,
because she was so busy being a whole crazy person, respectfully.
like 12 of them. But
So
what's
many.
what's ironic about all of this though is like I remember towards the ending when she was like being questioned and she kept like saying like, no, I had a baby. Like,
I had a
no, you
baby.
didn't. She made a
Even
comment.
after the doctor was like, there's no way she had a
Yeah.
baby. She's like, I did have a baby. Oh, okay.
She made a comment because one of the detectives or one of the police officers asked her like something about like, you know, why did you do it? And like, do you think that you got anything out of it? And she was kind of like, no, he still didn't love me. And I was like, yes, you may be mentally ill a little bit.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. And it's ironic or interesting to me that she wanted something from him because he even said it himself. He's like, I don't think I ever said
never loved
I
her.
loved her.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted so bad. And she was willing to literally murder someone, cut their baby out, and give this man a child in the hopes that he would potentially just fall in love with her or just say those words. And she never got that. And so I don't know. I think there's so many like different like dynamics to that, but I found that really interesting, and I just kind of made that connection with what everything we just talked about. And it's like,
yeah, absolutely.
it's like, yikes! Like we are so like truly at the end of the day, like no matter how strong we are, like we are truly fragile individuals that just we want love, we want affection, we want it in some way, shape, or form. And now please don't go out and murder people and steal their children to do that. But yeah, just very, very ironic, I think.
I guess that's true with everything that we did just talk about. But I'm also just like, there are people like that walk among us every day. And I'm like, no wonder I don't leave my house. No wonder I don't leave my house. Why would I leave my house? And I kept calling her a girl. I kept being like, this little girl, this little girl. She was 27 years old. She was not a little girl. She was a whole grown-ass woman that was plotting and conniving and was intelligent enough to do a lot of different things to keep
but
up
didn't
this
see
facade.
anything wrong with it. Like, at least not that we've seen acknowledged.
Well, and I am curious to see what else comes out. And I do have it on my list of things to like deep dive whenever I get bored and want to deep dive something, because the fact that the doctors, from as soon as they saw that she posted that she was pregnant and they knew that she couldn't be, as soon as they saw that, for them to put out essentially a red alert at the hospital, they called it a pink alert at the hospital to say she's gonna come steal a baby, be on the lookout. They knew more about her mental health than the documentary showed us, because people lie about being pregnant every single day. Women are trifling because they have no problem being like, oh, I'm pregnant, to keep a relationship or to make themselves feel better, or have their own like mental illnesses that like are really trying to whatever. That's not my point. But there are women that lie about that every day, and the doctors at the hospitals are not constantly putting out pink alerts on every girl who lies about being pregnant simply because she said that. So they knew more than we're getting out. I understand HIPAA and all that, but like eventually we'll get more information as to why these doctors were so, so, so concerned that she was just going to come steal a baby. Like,
what's
so crazy.
And it makes me wonder, like, how did she value that relationship with her friend? And I put that in quotes because like they appeared to be really good friends. That was probably her best friend. And like, did she value the potential aspect of being loved by her partner more than she loved and respected her friend? Like, what was it? Was it the mental health? Like I would truly love to just understand, like, how did you just murder this person that you had this supposed great connection with, and just cut their child right out of them. Like, I and honestly, even if we got an explanation, I don't know that I could ever understand.
No, I mean, we obviously could never understand because we're not over here killing our best friends and cutting out babies. So
Good point.
do watch the documentary, and that was a wild one. So with that, new episodes come out every
Monday.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow, all of the things. I hope everybody had a fabulous Father's Day. I'm on my way to go get Father's Day dinner because I am Faja in my family. So I get to be the mom and the dad, and my son is making me dinner. And don't be afraid to grate. Toodles poodles.
Bye.